very little weaponry.
As Plasma Snake pulls her Moon Pearl.
And Sliver plays pinball with the skulls, which is unfortunately a very quick way to take a death. Meanwhile, here comes Paradox Caves. We'll see what we have in here.
Plasma Snake is the last of our runners to finally hit a Take Any cave. She was still on 3 hearts to this point, while everyone else was on 4 or 5. Oh wow, look at that spending spree for Secretly the Sliver.
Yep, it had 10 bombs and then the other 2 things we like to see, so I'm not surprised. You have the money, just go ahead and do it.
And Sawyer in Paradox Cave finds one of the 2 swords that's actually going to be sitting in a chest. And Breathless Sleep finds the fire rod in the back of Escape, which Sean is about to grab as well.
You know, that fire rod just came with the big key to Skullwoods, which I did not see initially.
We haven't really gotten a good source of magic yet. It looks like Plasma Snake also doing Paradox Cave, so she will get her Master Sword. Breathless Sleep goes into a shop, realizes, oh, I have no money.
Speaking of money, has anyone checked the bottle vendor yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't think so either. It's just one of those things that bottle vendor and Zora can be really difficult to route in just money-wise.
Yeah. And with Sawyer being our first runner to actually get to the Mire area with the Moon Pearl, he finds the back of Skull Woods. I wonder if he'll try beating it when he's finished checking the other entrances, like finding Eastern here.
It's definitely a possibility. As long as you have that one small key in hand, you can do it. So,
which he does. Oh, but he hasn't gotten the fire rod yet. His teammate has the fire rod, so.
Speaking of money, Plasma Snake pulling a 300 out of Cave 45, which was sitting at Hype Cave. That is definitely something you're going to say, yes, please, to, and may I have another. Another item cave here. Swamp giving us King's Tomb, just a piece of art.
And Sean used a small key to go into Hera Basement to do Tile Room. In co-op, you'll see Tile Room plays a lot more because, you know, one member of the team does it, and then if it's nothing, the other member of the team saves their time. If it is something, well, then, you know, you have to go there.
Right, especially with this being I'm going to call it a Key Sanity adjacent mode, and the only one that we have right now that's co-op like this. There's going to be an item down here of some sort.
In this case, the shovel.
Yep, which tells you absolutely nothing until you go turn it in.
We found Sick Kid, not too far from Kakariko, but of course we don't have any bottles yet. Stumpy giving us a key. That's a nice find.
Meanwhile, Mimic Cave right next to Sick Kid.
And we can't do anything with that without the hammer. What is on
Right.
Race Game? Oh, Race Game's vanilla. I don't think we're going back there. So I do wonder if someone's going to do the back of Skull Woods. Sawyer can't because he doesn't have a fire source yet, but he could send his teammate. I think I think Witchful Thinking also knows about that connector, yes?
I believe so.
The Plasma Snake is, you know, doing a good old 4-heart green mail laser bridge, which involves get an item, take a death. Get another item, take another death.
Yeah, it'd be a heck of a lot easier if you had the boots, because then you can time it much more freely than just kind of poking yourself up against the side and going, please, 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 please.
Or taking a death before you quite made it to the item. That's unfortunate.
Speaking of that bottle vendor we were talking about earlier, big key to Ice Palace.
May or may not need that. I mean, the logic thinks we need it.
Definitely worth grabbing. It's nice to have it, if nothing else. Looks like Tier 2 was 8 bombs, so the tree drop's just handing us all the explosives we could possibly need.
Oh, and Plasma Snake, nice use of iframes there to intentionally drop off the ledge and then avoid the lasers that way. Now, Sean has a bow and rupees to use the arrows, so he's actually going to go up Bowlock's side of pod, so this will be new information for us.
Yep, meanwhile, Sawyer is actually checking the front of Escape.
Hey, then. Joke's on us. Why make checks in there, you know?
Hey, now, don't give me that. Joke's on you, buddy. I didn't say nothing.
I guess he wanted a key first.
I mean, you're one key away from getting several more items. I don't dislike it.
True. Right, we don't have a hammer, so we can't actually go anywhere from the right side. We can just get those 2 items and Death Warp out.
Yeah, I think ideally there would be a second key in their inventory right now, to be able to at least get to the back and potentially hammer Yump with that pod big key and check the dark basement. But money is as money is.
And here's Plasma Snake's Fire Rod, along with the Skullwood's big key of dubious value.
I tell you what, how about this seed just handing out big keys? Big key of Thieves Town and Zelda Cell, too.
Oh, geez, so we already have 5 big keys. Oh, there's some money, not going to say no to that. And some more money, so that's right side of pod for us. And grab some bombs and Death Warp. And Witchful Thinking also going to find that Thieves' big key shortly. Oh, and Breathless Sleep finds his way to the mountain.
Yep, desert popping out in the mountain, so that's access to there. We'll see if that brings us anything.
Oh, our tracker, Obscure, is pointing out that there was also a big key on Desert Torch, which of course we can't get without the boots.
Goodness gracious. Just hand them all to us right now, and we'll just play this thing like a regular old crossword.
Shoutouts to Shinmaru and Obscure for doing the tracking. I miss these guys already, and it's only been a week since SGL.
Huh. Yeah, button pressing, especially in a mode like this, is absolutely crucial, or else, I mean, I, for one, would be completely lost without it. Oh, hello, Agatower. And said a little more nicely, hello, Blindside.
Yeah, more items. Cape. Speaking of, like, if we can get to the vanilla Agate Tower entrance, well, we already have the Master Sword anyway, so Cape really only gets us anything at the moment if we find Bumper Cave.
That's an interesting call. So Breathless Sleep walking in with 0 keys, pulling a key out of that small chest, and then just heading out. I think I would have checked that second item, or at least given it a
Yeah.
shot. Seems like everybody's in the dark right now.
Everybody's looking for something.
Was that the Dark World Agana cave that popped out at Skullwoods?
Yeah, that sounds right. Ooh, and yet another big key, Swamp. Not a great big key to find, but we're adding to our collection.
If I'm being honest, any big key that you find before you have to go into the dungeon is a good big key.
True. Well, Eastern Big Key would be really nice, or Harab Big Key, because we know where both of those dungeons are, and we could very easily full clear them if we got the big keys.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Ooh, and Sean is short a small key. He can afford one, but he went in without, and you do kind of need a small key going into the back of Skullwoods.
And that's where it can get you. Retrance being a situation where you have one more thing to keep an eye out for, and it's small keys, and they can really sneak up on you if you're not paying attention.
Last night, we had a runner who climbed the entirety of GT without any small keys and couldn't open the door before Moldorm 2.
I would never. That's a very sarcastic joke. I did that once. I did that once on co-op Randomizer 2 consecutive days. So, yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, and according to Obscure, Sawyer has found a bottle, which was the brewery at Pod entrance. But we know where Sick Kid is.
Yeah, Sick Kid just moved a little bit south, sitting in that library entrance.
Okay, we found a connector to Desert Ledge. Interesting. And Plasma Snake is into Thieves Town. We have the big key. We do not have the hammer, so she could full clear everything except the big chest.
I would like to point out that very connector you were talking about earlier goes from LJ to Dark World LJ.
Well, that's nice. It's just like a very long mirror portal. Is this from Restless Sleep our first look at the back of Well? Just a heart.
Yeah, it's the first time I recall seeing it, so.
Ooh, mushroom. There's another fetch quest for us. And another big... Oh, Eastern. Wow, okay. Item on Drossie's wish list. So Front of Thieves is kind of nice. I mean, we don't know whether we'll need that mushroom or not. We still haven't checked that shovel from Hera Basement.
We also have basically no knowledge of dungeons right now, so it's just kind of, I'll take everything, please and thank you.
Well, Thieves is apparently a crystal. You can see the little C next to the Plasma Snake magic meter.
Good call.
So yeah, it makes sense that, you know, if you're Plasma Snake, you risk the big chest, and you hope that Breathless Sleep doesn't need to go in there until she has the hammer. Speaking of hammer, there's Spike Cave, another thing you need the hammer for. Moth was being well-behaved until it stopped being well-behaved, and, ooh boy, Sean takes a death.
Yeah, Moth goes from 0 to 60 with absolutely no heads up.
He was like 1 or 2 slashes away from winning that fight, but... As they say, close is only good enough for hand grenades and horseshoes, and I don't think Moth is either a hand grenade or a horseshoe.
Sometimes I feel like I'd love to throw a hand grenade at Moth.
That would be a nice way of, you know, short-circuiting the fight.
I'm not sure it would do much. I think it's 8 shots with a fire rod to take the darn thing down. I don't love my odds.
And Plasma Snake, realizing she is in Thieves Town without a glove, she will have to full clear this room because she can't lift the block.
Meanwhile, take 2, Mothula.
Yeah, 8 fighter sword slashes, and we're fresh out of magic, so we're not using the fire rod. There we go.
Nice done.
And a crystal. Okay, so we know 2 of the crystals, though the runners only know 1 crystal each. Let's see how Plasma Snake's blind script is.
All things told, about 23 minutes in here, we have access to a couple of crystals, complete access to the Dark World. It hasn't been bad thus far.
Yeah, we can beat Eastern, though we don't know whether it's a crystal or a pendant. Plasma Snake gets a little off script, but still gets the fight down. For the Ice Rod.
Another item we're not going to say no to.
I mean, we're a Cane of Samaria and a Turtle Rock Big Key away from Trinex, because we already know where Laser Bridge is. Have we seen the Quarreling Brothers connector before?
Nope, this one's new. I think.
Yeah, it comes out of Pyramid Fairy. Interesting.
Well, that means that our big bomb buddy can be tossed aside once we ever find him.
Right, don't really need to know where the 5-6 crystals are. May never know where the 5-6 crystals are.
We did run across Ice Palace there at the Dark World Sank entrance, so now we're just missing Swamp and Mire, and then GT, but we try not to talk about that.
And of course, if Swamp is a crystal, we'll also need to find the dam. Oh, shovel check incoming.
Yep. We're gonna finally see if that shovel was anything. Nope.
Nope. Guess we don't need to do Hera Basement.
Haha. Hi, GT.
Oh, and another good call by Obscure that while we were looking at the Moth and Blind fight, Sawyer did the front of Skullwoods and found Ether. Which, because we have that connection to Mire, we already know that's Mire Medallion.
Alright, Mini Moldorm Cave. Gonna have to be careful here, only with a heart and a half, but that heart drop's nice, so makes things a little easier. And there's the front of TR to give us every TR entrance.
But we still don't have Kane. Hey, is this our first look at Mini Moldorm Cave?
It is. Thus far, it can be our last look. Well, Quake might be useful.
And Sean going into pod with an extra key, so he'll be able to get at the back.
And I'll tell you what, all of our runners are relatively low on rupees here. This thing, ooh, well, is that early enough for early bow?
I mean, sub half-hour silvers, I'll take it.
Okay, cool.
So it's still kind of pricey.
Drosy confirmed.
Now the question is, will the runners have enough money when they get to Ganon? Speaking of Ganon, notice that Secretly a Sliver is gathering all the rupees in Pod Rupee Basement.
Everything you can, please and thank you.
Yes. Almost at Zora money now, but do you really want to check the fish?
I mean, depending on where things are, somebody's got to, and that's one of the worst feelings.
Ooh!
Oh, Sick Kid with a mirror.
Yeah, and again, Byrnacane knows where Sick Kid is. They have bottles. It's available to them. But that, in a crossworld, that sure helps you get around the map a lot easier.
Speaking of money, how about Dig Game just handing rupees over?
Yeah, we actually made a profit on it, I think.
So, speaking of crystal and pendant knowledge we were talking about earlier, we still haven't found Zosrilla or our big bomb buddy.
Right. Guess we'll just have to keep beating things. I mean, we have 3 beatable dungeons already. Oh, Plasma Snake looks at that card container and decides she really wants some blue goo instead.
If you have the bottle, I don't blame you, really. I really
An
don't.
empty bottle, why not?
Especially knowing that I think they've already come across Ice Palace, so that's in logic once we get a hammer, and then only being a Samaria cane away from Trinex as well. Like I'm gonna and the big key. I'm taking that blue goo, I think.
And meanwhile, Byrnacane now knows about the mirror as well. Would be nice to get other mobility items like boots and flute.
Oh yeah, I'm sure all 4 of our runners are thinking that exact same thing. We are going to get to see the other side of Bumper, if Plasma Snake can get through it. It can be a little tricky without a hookshot, not going to lie.
Which is why in basic item placement, the hookshot is logically required for it. But there we go. And that is Lower East Death Mountain access, so that cape could actually be important.
I know that we popped out of Floating Island, but yeah, this is another way to get there for sure.
And good old Aegina's Cave.
Honestly, at about the right time, too.
Well, you know, he relocated from the desert to the mountain. Can't blame him.
Got sick and tired of dodging jazz hands, I'll bet.
Yeah, considering his technique for dodging jazz hands.
Oh my goodness.
For those of you who don't know the reference, all I can say is go talk to Aegina when you have the Master Sword or better.
All I can say is please don't do that if you value your continued sanity.
Speaking of
sanity,
that would imply they had any.
That's fair. If you're playing rando, it's probably already gone. But we did find a tempered sword, so that's nice.
Yeah, so that's that take any cave that we were mentioning before. I still want to see someone finish up Eastern.
Yeah, I feel like there's 2 ways to kind of tackle an entrance seed. You can either like try to early go for dungeons, or you can try to get a map of the general world and then go from there. I feel like both of our teams here are putting a little more emphasis on that second bit right now.
Oh, I thought you were going to say either a sack or go after the receiver.
I mean, I guess that works too, but
I'll be seeing myself out.
All right, seeing myself out, formerly known as Drosy. And Sawyer, formerly known as wishing he had a little bit more magic for that ether medallion.
Oh, yeah, he can't actually use it. But hey, another small key.
If this is a green goo. Oh, I was hoping.
B.
It wasn't great odds, but I was still hoping for a green or a blue. And then a mirror bunk to add insult to injury.
And of course, Plasma Snake must have told Breathless Sleep about that tempered sword, so now both of Witchful Thinking are sword ahead of both of Byrnacane.
Yep, and the information goes both ways because Plasma Snake has popped up on Hyrule Castle to see what's up here in these three entrances.
Oh, hello, Meyer. Not that we have hookshot or boots for actually doing anything in Meyer.
It's the best kind of mire, the mire you get to walk out of with no guilt.
And Spiral Cave.
So now, if the seed decides to be really rude, this next one over here is going to be like the front of Super Bunny or something, so you have to pick. Okay, never mind. We're good.
Dam is nice. Get that out of the way. Pull it in entrance rando. Once you pull the dam, it just stays pulled for the rest of the game.
Yep, and the tricky thing here is that sometimes you have to use... It's easy to forget that you pulled the dam and that flooded item is a thing. But that flooded item is a thing now, so don't forget it.
Hey, that also means that Swamp is behind the mirror.
Well, you know, sometimes Entrance likes mimicking vanilla.
Art imitates life. But yeah, Plasma Snake at the moment, the only runner giving us new information. Also, still the only runner who's done Thieves.
Yeah, there wasn't anything super useful there. We haven't turned in the mushroom, or haven't found the witch yet, I should say.
And we haven't gone to Eastern with the big key.
Exactly.
Oh, what do you know? Another dark entrance.
It's really funny watching Plasma Snake every single time they S&Q and start from Link's house, like taking a juke towards that Link's house chest and then going away from it.
Old habits die hard.
Muscle memory hasn't won yet, but I swear it's closer every time. I feel like I'd probably just pick it up so I stopped moving that way every time.
That Brothers connector is really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty quick to get to, and it takes you to like a central location. It'll be even nicer once we can get our hands on, you know, some stuff that might take us to North Dark World. But as of yet, we have none of that.
Imagine getting a hammer or a glove or something.
Or flippers, or a hook shot, or anything remotely resembling progression, please and thank you. I'm honestly starting to think that your call about Eastern Palace is ending up being true at this point, because we don't have much left to look at.
Also, that ether's gotten us nothing so far. Meyer entrance was just a fairy. Yeah, we could do some fake flipper checks, but, you know, no actual flippers to put them in logic.
Right, and with no glove, it's not even a situation where you do the fake flipper checks to get to Zora a little bit quicker. Because that's out of logic too, and I'm not sure that any of our runners have Zora money. Actually, both of them on on Deadrock, you like a Byrnacane do. Unfortunately, that Eastern Palace is also kind of out of the way, being in my area, so you'd have to make a concerted effort towards it, and I think maybe that's why we haven't seen anybody do it yet.
Wait, Eastern was in Meyer area? Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it should be Meyer right, I believe. Which, given,
Right.
it's not hard to get to, because you can just take Paradox Cave over to the Meyer area and then kind of, traipse your way across. But it's still like you have to, like, okay, I'm going to S and Q, start at Sanctuary, go here, go through the connector, go do this. Like, it's got to be a concerted effort sort of thing.
Right, and Witchful Thinking hasn't done Back of Skull Woods either.
Right.
So they haven't really explored the Meyer area. Meanwhile, Sean is on the pyramid, and with that mirror, he will be finding out about the location of Misery Meyer.
Yep, Meyer, the dam, and a connector.
And we haven't actually seen what's in Flooded Spot after pulling dam yet.
Oh, Plasma Stake gave that one a good hard look through. I don't know. I don't like going into Ice Palace without a glove or a hammer either.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do we have at this point that's the actual density? I think that and Eastern might be about it. Also, have we seen the pig entrance yet? Is the pig vanilla?
Could be. Seems to happen a lot. You'd think it was only 1 in 8, but it happens a lot.
Every time someone does an S and Q, it starts at Sanctuary. Now I'm sitting there crossing my fingers like, is this going to be the Eastern play?
So I forget, where is this Thieves Town entrance that Byrnacane hasn't found yet?
Thieves Town is actually really close. It's the Lake Hylia fortune teller. So,
Oh, so right by Link's house, and they still haven't been there, huh?
that's one of those sneaky ones. Like that one can definitely get you. Because like there's those 3 entrances there, especially if you come out somewhere at the eastern area. Like the easy way is to go like do Light World Hype Cave entrance and then do the 2 Lake Hylia entrances and then take that up towards eastern. But if you pop out of the eastern entrance, and you can knock out those 4 and just leave like those 3 entrances that I talked about just kind of all in their lonesome. It can be tricky.
So we're now even at 1 crystal per runner, 43 minutes in, as Byrnacane finds out about that tempered sword. Sawyer just blew 80 rupees for no good reason.
I didn't see that. What happened there?
He paid for the dig game and then immediately left.
Ah, got it.
Like, at that point, you'd think you'd want to at least do some digs to try to get your money back. And Sawyer's blind checking race game, really neither of the Byrnacane members checked that yet? Yeah, and he realizes he doesn't actually want it.
There's definitely some confusion here going on Deadrock like a Byrnacane side, because we've got a long pause here by Sawyer, and then Sliver just kind of walked out of Kakariko, paused for a minute, S&Q'd, restarted over at Kakariko. So there's definitely some confusion about where to go next, which is a very easy thing to happen with a mode like this.
Yeah, I think overall I like Witchful Thinking's position better at the moment, though. Again, they need to explore Mire area. Oh, this is our first look at the back of Skull Woods, is it not?
No, we saw it before. I think it was a ferry. No, just a shop. That's right.
Oh, okay. One of the regular shops, even, not one of the retro shops.
Right, because Deadrock, You Like a Byrnacane came up here first when they went through the front of Skull Woods and had the fire rod too. So.
And Deadrock, You Like a Byrnacane has finally found Thieves Town, so this could swing things for them. Because they'll get that Eastern big, and they've actually been to Eastern.
I still can't believe we're 45 minutes into a co-op and nobody has a glove yet, though. Like, because that's one of those things that unlocks a lot of small entrances around the world and just kind of makes routing a little bit easier, and we just have not seen one yet.
The race I called last night, one glove was in pre-Moldorm chest, and the other was on Cold Stare.
I'm sorry, what? You had to climb GT for your first glove?
Yep, hard required so that you could get to Cold Stare, who had a crystal.
Ugh, you guys need to make GT climb not required. That's gross.
Well, it's okay because Ganon was vanilla, so you needed to climb GT anyway.
I mean, then I guess it comes down to the question of did they have the hook shot at that point to be able to complete GT?
Yes, the hook shot was in GT basement.
Oh, that's fine then. That's not terrible.
Everyone broke logic to find it at Bob's chest because they didn't have Samaria to do the right side.
You bomb jump, find hook shot, and then climb and find a glove, and you're just like, well, I'm just not going to worry about the logic in this game.
Well, no, it's okay. They had to do right side eventually because that's where the GT big key was.
Ugh. No, we're not. No.
Plasma Snake finds the front of Turtle Rock, but she can't do anything with. That Samaria has to show up at some point.
And so does everything else that we're lacking at this point. But yeah, it is remaining stubbornly non-existent.
Lamp would be nice.
Yeah, it would be. I didn't. Okay, good. I was going to say, I'm not sure that worked. All right, finally, we're going to get to see what's on the other side of this connector.
Fortunately, that supply of bombs was still sitting there, so we didn't even lose a bomb over it.
Ah, this isn't a bad connector. We get a couple entrances out of here.
Yeah, this is actually, once you have the mirror, you kind of like finding that connector, too. What I just mimicked.
That's the other entrance. That's hilarious.
The other entrance to what? I didn't actually
register. Yeah, so Plasma Snake walked into Thieves Town, popped out through the spec connector, popped out at the TR big key connector, and then mirrored and found the other entrance to spec connector.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I still don't know my Death Mountain caves well enough. Site.
Nope, you're fine.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had a hammer?
I'm right here.
Hmm. Well, would you like to get these runners to the Thieves' Town Big Chest then?
I would if they asked nicely.
But they're under 10-minute time delay, so it would take you 10 minutes to get there anyway.
Exactly. It's like a time delay safe. Like, I'll get there, but it's going to take me a couple minutes. But hey, we have Breathless Sleep right now in Eastern Palace. With
Which
the
is a
key
pendant.
and the bow. We're going to get new checks, Drosy.
Maybe it's a green pendant. We haven't actually found Saha yet, so...
No, we haven't found anything useful. It's just been all guesses all day, all the time.
Well, if nothing else, it'll be 2 items we haven't seen before between the big chest and the boss.
And both of them in logic.
I do not believe the Fire Rod puts the back of Eastern in logic and entrance rando.
Oh, does entrance rando not do, like, hard mode for fire sources or whatever you want to call it?
And entrance rando, I believe, logically requires lamp for all dark rooms.
Huh, okay. That is not something I was familiar with. Because usually if you're playing entrance rando, you're just completely ignoring lamps and fire rods and everything anyway.
Right.
So. Okay, well then I'm really starting to think that a hammerless, gloveless ice palace is the call. I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying I don't think we have much left.
Well, we have this big chest here in Eastern. That's fully in logic.
That's fair. Yep, nope. Yep, go to Ice Palace.
But maybe it's just the lamp in Ice Palace to put the back of Eastern in logic.
Also a possibility. And that would be rude. Oh, these are new entrants over here for Plasma Snake. I don't think we've seen anything in the Dark World, Dark Death Mountain area. Okay, so this will be new.
Ooh, Mire Shed. Our other mail upgrade. And Bombos, we now have all medallions accounted for.
Alright, so go to Ice Palace. The funny thing is we don't even have Samaria, so it's not even a situation where you're like, okay, between the fact that it's Retrance and I have Samaria, I'm probably going to be able to get just about everything except for the chest that's locked by the hammer and the glove and Cold Stare. It's like, no, you'll get what you'll get and you'll like it. We also did come out of Floating Island somewhere. I didn't see what connector that was. But that's also a possibility, because now that we have the mirror, we can go do the top of Death Mountain that way. The drop-downs won't get us anything, because we've already come out of TR back and the TR bridge area with the mirror, but the top of Paradox Cave, at the very least, will be new.
So if you're Breathless Sleep, do you do Silver's Armos just to make the fight go faster, even though it costs you an extra 120 rupees?
I personally wouldn't, unless I really didn't like my quick kill strat. But, you know, I think I would kind of play it like, I will lose the extra 5 or 6 seconds, and if we lose because of that, sorry.
And it looks like that is just a blue pendant, so unless there's something on Ped, Eastern really didn't have anything for us.
It'll be interesting to see if Sawyer decides to. Oh, that was funny. You could see the internal struggle. Like, I'm just gonna use silver. No, I'm not gonna use silver. Is Sawyer going to go to the next chest? Yes. Okay, so this is going to be out of logic behind a lamp, but this was a check that we did, that we had the opportunity to do, but then it was not done. So we'll see how it works out.
What was that lumberjack anyway? I don't remember. Ooh, Sawyer runs out of magic trying to light the torches in that room. But he is over to the left side. Just a piece of heart. And Breathless Sleep trying to do the back of Skull Woods without a key and realizing you can't.
That's one for everybody then, seems like.
Oh, Plasma Snake trying to do Swamp without flippers, also discovering you can't. But that's interesting. It's at the Bomb Shop location.
That's officially all of our dungeons, too. So. You know, do we have the big key? We don't have the big key for that. Never mind. I was about to say, hey, we can do the back of desert, but you can't do it without the big key, idiot.
One of the very few that we don't have. That and Hera. Hera big key would be really nice, because we still don't have Hookshot.
Yeah, the only dungeon we can do anything right now is Ice Palace. So.
You just really want that Ice Palace check. Oh, and Hera's green pendant, thanks to Plasma Snake's map check there.
I'll tell you what. When I'm wrong, you can give me a hard time about it. But let's see what happens.
And there's Bombos for Sawyer, so both teams have full medallion knowledge now.
Especially that secretly a sliver just check that. So yeah.
And we just saw a map check. I saw something for Meyer. Okay, chat's saying Meyer was a regular crystal. There we go. Okay, Hammer, are you watching? Plasma Snake's doing it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. We chilling.
We do have the big key, so there are, what, 4 checks available to us here? 5. Because with small keys, we can also get at Spike Room Chest.
Yeah, the only checks we can't do right now are Cold Stare, and then the Hammer Lock chest and the Icebreaker chest. Because if it's not here, I genuinely have no idea where we're supposed to go. So I haven't been keeping perfect track of everything, but with what I have here, I'm pretty sure this is legitimately it.
I really haven't been keeping track of things because my first thought when Plasma Snake went back to the room she's now in was, why are you going back to hit the switch? Why don't you just Icebreaker?
Oh man, if only we had a Soma game.
But yes, we get to see the old route through the Stalfos Nights.
We also might not see an Icebreaker here. There's really no reason for it, given that you're 2 items away from it. I feel like I would just take the chance, and if I pull a Hammer and a glove out of here, it's like, dang, you got me.
Yeah, seems extremely unlikely that both are here. Still no boots. Boots are interesting in entrance modes because they actually open up several entrances thanks to Bonk Rocks in King's Tomb.
Yep, 4 checks or 4 entrances, I should say, and the potential of grabbing that big key off of Desert, which at this point could be vanilla, and being able to jump into Mire as well.
Hey, we finally found the potion shop. Now, if someone who has the mushroom goes to the potion shop,
I
After turning
think
into
we
mushroom.
saw it. I think it
Oh,
was a
did we?
key.
Oh, okay.
Don't quote me on that. I'm not positive, but I think it was a key.
Oh, yeah, chat's saying that it was a small key. Okay.
Hey, not totally useless. Let's go.
Meanwhile, ice has been totally useless so far, and we only have iced tea left.
It really is stringing us along, and I'm about to be a very confused individual if nothing comes out of here.
Since when does iced tea ever have progression?
Oh man, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's painful. I can't even be sarcastic. I'm so mad about it. You know how many games I've lost to Spyweaver because of Ice-T having progression? I don't want to talk about it. Oh no, I have no. Okay, that's it. I have no idea. Oh, how about that flooded item?
Oh right, yes.
We haven't seen that either.
Yes, we've pulled dam and no one's actually checked the dam area.
That's all I got left.
Too many dam checks, as they say.
Only 216. It's fine.
But secretly, a sliver is actually fake flippering here.
Oh, pick it up. We don't have any. No, go get it. Well, there it is. Told you about that item we like forgetting. Flooded item was boots.
Well, I wasn't wrong that boots could be our next big progression. And yeah, how long has it been since these teams pulled the dam?
Yeah, everybody feels behind. This is gonna be great.
The boots have just been sitting there for 10-20 minutes. Probably 20.
It's been 20, yeah.
And Witchful Thinking found the dam first.
Yes. Relatively close together, but yeah. Yep, it's been sitting there for a bit.
Come on, Breathless Sleep. You just need to go south here. You've pulled the dam.
I mean, I don't
No!
Really... Oh. This is chaos. We have nothing for Dark World access at this point. People just dashing around trying to find stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be one of the 4 entrances that was open for us.
Or it's Mire.
Oh, yes. Right. Ugh. Yeah, we can do everything in Mire except the boss. Oh, I guess Breathless Sleep hadn't pulled the dam yet. Okay, now check the flooded spot, which seems to be where Plasma Snake's going to, so they're not going to be too far behind Byrnacane. Well, King's Tomb is just the tavern.
It's about to be hilarity, because, yep, there's the boots, and now Breathless Sleep knows that she's in the right spot, just the boots to be able to do stuff.
Yeah, might even want to go back there and check Mire.
I mean, so far I'm not seeing any other thing to do. We haven't seen any of those boots entrances come out useful, so.
Well, meanwhile, Sawyer is going to take his little tour of Ice Palace, though at least he's doing it with boots.
Yeah, it'll be marginally quicker and just as useless, unfortunately. I think we still haven't seen the bonk rocks behind the bomb shop in the Dark World. I think that's the only one we're missing right now.
What was even our access to South Dark World?
Paradox Cave comes out of Dark World Hylia.
Ah, okay.
So you can. That's also how we get over to Mire area. So the Angry Right entrance takes you out. If you go through the top of Paradox, it's Dark World Hylia. If you go through the mirror locked entrance, it's the Mire left.
Hey, Hammer, are you excited for Mire?
I mean, I don't have a choice. It's literally all we've got left, unless it's the unless we're going to that other Bonk Rocks entrance I talked about.
I think Sliver's going to do Harmless Hellway. I'm not sure if we've seen that yet. People might have been trying to conserve keys.
I am simultaneously torn between being absolutely certain that we have seen it and absolutely certain that we haven't. So I'll get back to you.
It's a quantum state.
Give me that key back.
Get both keys. He also did Big Key Chest and found a plastic shield there.
Meanwhile, Meyer is coming up. Please keep moving. Thank you. Nothing yet.
So our tracker gets the rare privilege of untracking an item.
There you go. That's the entrance you need. No, other way. No, yeah. Please.
Well, it's not left side, Meyer. 5 more checks.
Okay, this is going to come out at Dark World Bumper Top, so...
Hammer, what are you going to do when there's nothing in Meyer?
I'm going to point back to that one entrance that we haven't checked yet.
There's the hook shot.
Take it back! Take it back!
Okay. I bet Sean wishes he'd been to Meyer right now.
That was a check I'd forgotten about, though. Oh no, are we doing it?
Ooh, someone's queuing up a hover. As we find the TR Big Key in Graveyard Ledge, I do not believe we've seen that.
Nope, that one's new.
Oh, that was the Bonk Rocks behind Bomb Shop. Okay.
So that unlocks one item. 2 items, because we don't have Samara yet, so...
Right. I mean, we could hover to try
Go down. Perfect. No! Oh, okay. Well, the entrance, the Light World Hype entrance, is the TR Big Key entrance, so I was hoping that we would get a check of those 2 chests since it's right there, but we're going to have to wait.
But meanwhile, that hookshot is a very nice find.
Although I guess technically without the hookshot, those 2 checks are out of logic. But still, if you're comfortable with the bomb jump on it, I would tell you.
Oh, we apparently picked up the flippers in Meyer. I totally missed that.
Completely missed that. So yeah, that's another dungeon if you're feeling spicy.
Yeah, if you do Specky Clip, you could beat Swamp. And who doesn't Specky Clip these days?
Even I Specky Clip, and that says something. All right, let's get these other 3 checks in hookshot.
Money. Hookshot Cave wasn't the answer, but more money in the bottle's always nice. And Sawyer's now in Myers, so Byrnacane will be finding flippers and hookshot soon.
Especially because Sliver is literally right on his tail.
I think they've run out of locations. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a serious fake flipper from anyone at this point. I think we saw the capacity cave, but I don't think we saw waterfall or a look over at the Zora ledge or Zora proper.
Well, I think that's about what Plasma Snake might be doing now.
Pick it up, please. Thank you. People turning away burritos drives me nuts. Now do a map check, because you only need one more pendant. do we have 3 Light World pendants? I need to know.
That would be kind of funny. Hey, Hotel Mario in the waterfall.
That's GG's, right? We can call that game over. We did it.
I mean, I really think that should be the entrance version of True Ice Rod Hunt, True Mario Hunt.
That's fair. I don't dislike the idea. Oh, $100 on the ledge. Man, this seat just got horrendously linear.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Zora has. Solski. Technically, it was only in logic with the flippers, though we could have fake flippered over there long ago.
Yeah. Ugh. On a list of things, it feels really, really bad.
Hammer, why were you hanging out with Zora?
Because I wanted to go for a swim, Drosy.
Oh, okay. Kind of cold this time of year, though.
I don't care. I live in North Carolina. It's warm enough here. Okay, so with Hammer in hand, this seed is all but screaming, go do swamp.
Right. Though, now that Witchful Thinking knows it's in logic, Breathless Sleep will do it without Hammer, because who needs Hammer for swamp?
Wow, incredibly rude. I'm sitting here in a comm booth, and I'm feeling so attacked right now. Nobody needs me.
We love you anyway, Hammer, just not in swamp.
Chat, to answer your question, they could have fake flippered that Hammer like an hour ago. Like, getting the money may have been difficult, but there was a 300 that was accessible relatively early, and that combined with a Houlihan room, yeah, you could have had that a good long time ago.
Oh, and they could have fake flippered the glove on Hobo, too.
Oh, there's a glove there? Oh, no. Oh, no.
So fake flippering was the secret for blowing the seed wide open. Breathless Sleep seems to be having a little bit of trouble with the Specky clip. You're backing up too early. You need to wait. There you go. That should work. Just yeah, okay.
I thought it was still too early. I wasn't sure that it was going to be good, but
yeah, that looked good. It's just that she then forgot to, menu to the hook shot and placed another bomb.
Well, that big key to swamp wasn't useful. We tried.
And Byrnacane now simultaneously finding their gloves. I wonder if that's going to take them away from Zora, though.
I'm super confused as to what Byrnacane did, though, because I saw them fake flipper, and they fake flippered to Capacity Cave, and then did the...
then they wound up going west, somehow, because they got boots right after that. Remember?
Yeah, I know, I'm just confused, because, like, I saw them literally go into Capacity Cave, come back out, and then do the setup for fake flipper again, and then I thought they had checked the man under the bridge, but apparently I was wrong about that.
You know what's great, Hammer? We actually have, like, regular Dark World access now, and we have Samaria in the Diver Down room of Swamp.
Yeah, at this point, it's basically okay. Now you can go clear all the dungeons. Go do it, please, and thank you. Bye. This is another entrance that the hammer locks that that Sliver doesn't have yet.
Yeah. So Meyer, Ice, and TR are all full clearable. So is Pod. So the only question is, do we need the Desert Big Key? And I guess if Ganon's vanilla, we kind of need that GT Big Key as well.
Right. We do know there's a big key on Desert. We still haven't seen which one that is yet. The options for that right now, I believe, are Desert and GT.
Or Hera.
Oh, yeah, we haven't seen Hera either. That's right. So, yeah, if that big key is for GT and Desert is a pendant, then that we could be in no mode right now. Or in go pick up that last big key mode.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was going to be an S and Q. That would have been real bad. So you're going to check. Okay, okay, cool.
Plasma Snake went into Mini Moldorm Cave and then didn't get the Quake Medallion, which I don't think we know whether we need it or not yet.
Someone
apparently we don't. I'm seeing that the top runners have ether marked for TR.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't recall a TR medallion check, but I probably just missed it, so. Nicely done, Specky, there by Secretly a Sliver. Gonna grab the small key here on Hylia Island. Meanwhile, Plasma Snake is going to be using a bunch of small keys to finish checking out Pod here and find absolutely nothing.
Well, Plasma Snake will be beating Helma King, which is not something any runner has done yet in this seed.
Fair point. So our pendants are down to Desert or TR at this point for our third pendant.
Right. And apparently somewhere along the way we found out that Ice is a 5-6 because I see it so marked on the trackers.
Yeah, that was probably a menu. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm going to have to pull that statue out and push it a little more to the right.
Ooh. Yeah, doing Swamp first would have been nice, though Plasma Snake is in the same boat.
I'm starting to have some real questions about where this lamp is, just so we're clear.
Sean's gonna find it on left side swamp. Note that Breathless Sleep skipped left side swamp.
That's fair.
Oh, left side swamp was junk.
Breathless Sleep, meanwhile, going to use some arrows to hopefully get some money to go get that hammer. Because Retrance sucks sometimes.
Oh, Sawyer doing quite a bit better in Pod Basement than Plasma Snake. Plasma Snake entered the basement quite a bit ahead of Sawyer, and now Sawyer's slightly ahead.
Yeah, really clean turtle room. And we have matching Helmasaur fights.
And Byrnacane finds out about that other cane, the one that is actually needed to beat the seed.
Oh, rude.
And that is the second crystal each for Sawyer and Plasma Snake.
Yeah, this could easily end up being just a dungeon rush insanity right now.
Yeah. Gotta figure out what your most efficient way to do this is.
Another big question is, when are our runners going to complete the basement of GT, since that is where the vast majority of our items left are waiting for us?
Well, I think you pop into Desert and see what that big key is.
Right. Because if that's the desert big key, then it gives you knowledge. It'll, like you can go clear it and go see, hey, is this our last crystal or not? And then you can kind of go from there.
And if it's the GT big key, I mean, you can clear TR. We have access to Trinex. You can just find it out that way. We know where Laser Bridge is.
Right. Laser Bridge is, it's not too bad to get to. It's Arrow Game, which is kind of out of the way. Although Breathless Sleep might be heading that way right now, actually.
Just look it. She has all the equipment she needs for it. Now, I wonder if Plasma Snake will do Left Side Swamp, or if she's just gonna say, if it's on Left Side Swamp, we lose.
Yeah, I don't dislike the play of skipping it at this point, just because, like I said, between the glove pickup and the hammer pickup, and basically both of our teams just last locationing progression a handful of times. Pretty sure everyone feels really behind right now.
Well, here's the moment of truth with Trinex, because if Trinex drops a crystal, we are GT Big Key from Go Mode.
This could also be interesting here because Sawyer has the hammer in hand, and is right next to this big chest.
Ooh, yes. We have not seen that yet, have we? Just $100. Oh, right. Not even. Right. Key for a key.
Yeah, didn't even have the common courtesy to give us, more than what we spent.
Trinex also dropping a key. And that's a crystal, so we are officially GT Big Key from Go Mode.
Another really interesting thing here to keep an eye on is the rupee count, because silvers save time. A lot of time. So as we get through these bosses, it's going to be interesting to see who has the 200 rupees required, who doesn't.
Well, we have Cape and Tempered, so that's pretty decent for Vidi. Breathless Sleep is completely out of money, I just noticed, and Sawyer is very nearly out of money.
Right, and if that continues on that way, then we might have two silverless Ganon fights, regardless of the fact that we have silvers. Breathless Sleep, forgetting that she has boots. The Clear of Ice Palace, I believe. I think that's what we're going to see here. Maybe.
And hey, Plasma Snake coming in to finish off Meyer. Yeah, what is Breathless Sleep doing? She's been pausing a lot.
Probably just trying to confirm where everything is.
Well, need to finish ice.
Yep. I'm honestly really surprised that none of our runners have grabbed that big key. feel like that's just you just go do that, because if that's the big key you need, then you can just go mode everything else.
Yeah. Though, I mean, we've already done everything in Mire, so Plasma Snake's just go moding this anyway.
Sure.
And Breathless Sleep has gone an Icebreaker here, so... Really, you're going to hit the switch just... Oh, how many keys do we have? Like three? I guess I can see saving the key by hitting the switch.
Especially with only 1 rupee and 1 bomb, you might need to go buy bombs at some point, so I don't hate this call. That was a really, really smooth dark room by Plasma Snake, by the way.
Yeah, Breathless Sleep having some trouble getting that Icebreaker queued up. It just looks a little bit off. There we go. She's not even checking that chest, jeez.
I'm not sure...
It's right there. I mean, I would...
No. I know. I'm just...
She's not even grabbing that key.
I know. I'm starting to think that either we're wrong about where the pig is, or wishful thinking has forgotten they need the big key. Because they're both playing this like they're in go mode.
Well, I guess when they get 7 crystals, we'll find out.
Because I can fully admit that I may very well have missed the pig entrance somewhere else. I don't recall having seen it at all. So
now Plasma Snake with some very nice cape and tempered strats for Vitreous. At this point, though, I'd probably use wooden arrows on the last eye, but okay.
I don't know. Given the lack of checks of this GT big key, I'm more inclined to believe that we're mistaken at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. How many? Okay, so Breathless Sleep just has to do Pod and Mire. Plasma Snake has to do Skullwoods, Ice, and TR, but those Skullwoods and TR are really fast. Sean is now in Mire Basement, and then he has Ice and TR. Sawyer's about to be done with TR, and then he has Ice and Mire. This is a race.
Yeah, and it's a pretty quick seed, too.
Reasonably quick.
I don't know. Most of the co-op references I've seen have been closer to like an hour 50, 2 hours. So this would be the fastest one I've seen thus far. Just because these seeds have been not fun.
Also, Crossstaves in chat pointing out that the cheapest way to beat the big eyeball for Vitreous is 1 silver and 2 wooden arrows, which costs you 70. Whereas if you just use silvers, it's 100, and if you just use wooden, it's 80.
Huh. Interesting game knowledge. It's not something that I knew.
It's not something I had thought about, but...
Well, I've never done the 1 silver and then how many, however many wooden arrows. So I didn't know that 1 silver was worth 6 wooden arrows for Biddy.
Well, it's hit points. The big eyeball has 128 hit points. The silver does 100 damage. The wooden arrows do 16.
Got it. Okay.
And that was Trinix down for Sawyer, Moth down for Plasma Snake, Sean on Viddy,
And another thing to think about here is that Sliver needs some money.
Oh, he still doesn't have the hammer. That didn't even register with me. Yeah. Well, Sawyer's checking the front of TR for something, so, I mean, is this a... Do we need GT Big Key, and this is a GT Big Key play? I'm very confused where we're at.
Oh, never mind. Tracker must have...
Oh, okay. Okay.
Some lag on our tracker. It happens.
Right. Wait, right. How would Sean have beaten Pod without the hammer?
Magic.
Okay, there's the TR Big for Plasma Snake, so now she can go beat Trinex. Breathless Sleep having a bit of trouble in Mire Basement. I do wonder where that lamp is.
There's a couple of item caves we didn't see, so it's possible that it was there. Or it could just be in GT. That is another possibility.
Right, but I'm still wondering what wishful thinking strategy is here.
I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah. And no one's gone back into desert to see what that big key is.
That's what makes me think that we missed it.
But then why is Byrnacane full clearing TR?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me because I feel like you would go check that big key before you clear TR if you were worried about the big key anyways. So I don't have an answer for that one.
Breathless Sleep having no money whatsoever is using Tempered Sword on the big eyeball.
You're gonna have to be careful there. That eyeball does damage. Doesn't matter what you're wearing.
And it's 16 slashes. There we go. Okay, 2 crystal grabs on the right, 2 boss fights on the left. Plasma Snake to Ice next, Breathless Sleep to Pod next, Sawyer to Mire, and Sean to Ice.
Nice Trinex kill there, as the crystals just keep falling. Breathless.
Yeah, this is just super close.
Oh, we're there. We're grabbing some money this way. That's interesting. Oh, it was well. I have no idea what that money's for. Oh, because you need one arrow for the back of pod. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to beat the mimics.
Right. I imagine this is going to be an arrow game here. One of the most nerve-wracking arrow games you probably had to deal with.
Especially since we've already seen Breathless Sleep miss a bit. So if this goes to a game 3, it will be only Jeff and secretly a Sliver against Palmancott and Plasma Snake. I don't know if they've given thought to the mode. But it would have to be either Pilot Spoiler or OpenAD.
Nice fight by Plasma Snake there.
And she's the first to 7 crystals.
All right, so let's find out where Ganon was together, since apparently not Vanilla Ganon.
Yeah, and she has enough money for 5 silvers, so she can afford to miss once. Breathless Sleep being really careful here, you know, using the sword on the mimics. Still a little bit short for 4 silvers. But for every silver you don't have, you have to do 3 spins.
Ah, that's apparently where the pig was, in the forest.
Oh, and we just totally missed it.
I mean, makes sense. There was a lot of stuff going on super early game.
But yes, Sean also has his 7 crystals now, so we're going to get a pretty close Ganon fight here. He also has enough money for 6 silver shots. Sawyer very much short on Ganon money, but is about to get his 7th crystal. Yeah, money was really an issue this seed to begin with, and required Zora didn't make it any better.
Yeah, exactly. It's a huge difference. And it might actually end up being the difference in this one, because Breathless Sleep is currently lagging behind because of it. I would have picked up that 20, but...
Except, well, Sawyer has 1 fewer silver than Breathless Sleep. And it does look like Plasma Snake will finish before Sean.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be
real
Sean
close. Never got silvers, period. Did you see Ganon's message? And it's not on his tracker. He just never went and got them. That's going to cost Byrnacane some time. Could cost them the match.
At this point, I think it's going to, unless there's a mistake that's made here.
Well, get your GGs in for Plasma Snake in any case. The first to finish here. Official race time of 1:37.55. And there's Breathless Sleep's 7th crystal as Sawyer goes into the Ganon fight. So there goes Ganon down for Sean, but not having silver sure ate up time for him because he had, you know, the money to use them if he had them.
Right. Nice dodging there by Sawyer.
And he finishes 1:38.44, so that gives Witchful Thinking 49 seconds of breathing room. And meanwhile, Breathless Sleep did farm up enough money to do the fight all on silvers. So this is going to be super close. So we're moving on to phase 4.
Talk about a really empty tracker. I'm just looking at the tracker for our runners. They're missing a lot of stuff.
And Sawyer's going to do the spins before the silver shots.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just knock out your 6 spins, throw your 2 silvers in there, and keep it moving.
What is that? 3 spins?
Yep, 4. We need 2 more.
Mistimed that. That's
just
6.
2 silvers, yep.
And meanwhile, Breathless Sleep onto phase. Okay.
Oh!
Wow! How? Oh my... I don't know who would have won if Sawyer hadn't fallen there, but I'm pretty sure unless Breathless Sleep does the same thing, Witchful Thinking wins this.
Yeah, that was... Oof.
Though, Breathless Sleep just missed a silver shot, so... they'll now have to be doing spins. And of course they didn't get the torch glitch because they didn't expect to need the torch glitch. So this is just...
Just 3 spins, though. Now
yeah,
one more
but...
needed.
Ganon Fall's going south. Ganon Fight's going south. But, wow. Get your GGs in for Witchful Thinking. That was a heck of an ending to a very close race. And Breathless Sleep crosses at 1:41.10. We'll have to go back and see what time Ganon, Sawyer landed his 4th silver hit, well, final silver hit on Ganon. And
if anyone knows how long the fanfare is...
It's about 15 seconds.
I think they would have lost by like 4 seconds then, because Sawyer fell at literally like a minute before. So I think Byrnacane would have lost by like a handful of seconds.
Wow. That is nuts. Well, let's see if they want to talk about it.
Oh man, that was an interesting seed. I love how it was just immediately like, hey, you can just do everything. And then it was still like, hey, you guys get the last location your stuff. It was terrible.
Yeah. Oh boy. We're joined by Plasma Snake so far. GG.
GG. Thank you very much.
That was a seed.
That was a seed. It was pretty stressful on our end at the end there.
I can imagine. We were trying to figure out if Sawyer hadn't taken his Ganon Fall, who would have won, and of course, Breathless Sleep wasting a silver too.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't know about the Ganon Fall.
Yeah, Sawyer got his final hit in and fell off the bridge.
Oh no.
Yeah, it would have been within about 5 seconds total time, I think, either way. So it was...
Yeah.
But from our end, the seed was really interesting. Both teams kind of made a lot of the same, I don't want to necessarily call it mistakes, because the routing was fine as it is, but like last located the boots, then got into Meyer, and Meyer obviously had everything under the sun, and then took the flippers, got the glove, and got the hammer, and then we're just kind of thinking, I'll bet you everyone's thinking, man, I could have fake flippered that like 4 years ago, and it was a very interesting seed from up here.
By the way, we are also joined by Sawyer and secretly a Sliver. GG's to you guys.
Yeah,
GG.
GG's.
Okay, I'm gonna go in because I have to see exactly what time Sawyer's Ganon Fall was.
It was like when he fell, the dun came in like 5 or 10 seconds after, so I don't think it mattered at all.
Yeah, I think I was on the first phase of the second fight when the dot down happened. So
Of the second fight, yeah.
but yeah, it would have been close either way. We were talking about it before we came in here.
And
Really
there's
sure if we would've
there's
got it.
Breathless Sleep as well.
GG's.
No, GG's.
That was an interesting seed.
Yes.
And you were right, Hammer. It was at 140 even that Sawyer got his last hit and took the fall, so he probably crosses around 140.15. And so, yeah, that's like probably with Byrnacane wins by 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's really close at that point. Like, because then it comes down to when exactly people are hitting the done and that sort of thing.
Right.
It may have been a
Yeah.
retime, but it was ridiculous. So how about the fact that for once in your lives, and maybe the only time I've seen it be useful in an entrance seed, fake flippering was actually the call.
Well, I did fake flipper a couple times.
Well,
Didn't get
that's fair.
anything. Not in the
Yeah.
right spots.
Breathless had said a lot earlier into the seed, "Oh, I'm a bit worried about Zora money," and I was like, screw Zora. Zora's like completely not in logic in the slightest. Nothing's ever on Zora, and well, the seed likes to make you eat your words sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I had money issues throughout this seed, to say the least.
You weren't the only one.
Yeah, we were both running like less than 100 rupees at like different times, and like one would find a 300, and then it's like, okay, well, do I really need to go over and do that, or can I just hold off until I do something else over in that area, stuff like that. So, yay, retro.
Yeah, retro really, really showed its teeth, and then like the complete and total lack of any sort of movement item until you guys were basically in go mode meant that like the spheres that were available, the stuff that was available for easy checks, just so much smaller than it would if you guys had a flute and had boots for a while and that sort of thing.
Yeah, those boots felt pretty bad. We were
Yeah.
getting down to definitely, right, we've forgotten that something exists.
Yeah, it's okay.
and I noticed Breathless Sleep, you in particular were kind of hesitating, trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah, and I think there were two connectors, like the Paradox one and the Brother one, that I kept mixing up. When I wanted to go like to a certain part of the Dark World, I kept like picking the other save and quit point, like Link's house, when I should have been going to CAC, and vice versa. So there was a lot of like, oh wait, this is not where I'm going.
Yeah, that's definitely an entrance thing, and doing an entrance mode co-op only makes that more likely and more chaotic. So
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things to pass on to the other player and keep track of, and all that stuff.
We had to laugh at the end though when it was down to, well, I need to fire an arrow and I have 1 rupee. Complete
Yeah,
pod.
because I had to go to the back of pod, and I was like, that's not happening. And then we both failed to think of the fact that arrows are replaced by blue rupees in this mode. That I could have just gone to the back, but oh well.
yeah, farming the rupees did make sure that you had enough for the for silvers for Ganon though, which helped.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing we have remarkably low collection rates, in part because this is the rare entrance seed where no one does GT Basement.
Yeah, we were just saying to each other before we jumped in here. Like, I didn't even set foot in GT this seed.
Yeah, no one went in with either the hammer or the Cane of Samaria, so we really just saw a Hope Room and a Torch Scout from anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I spec equipped into Swamp, and then Sawyer went and cleared the flipper checks up in Zora area, so I was like halfway through Swamp when he said, oh, the hammer's on Zora, and I'm like, oh no, what do I do now? Do I leave? Do I do I go get the hammer and then do swamp? And then it's like, no, you gotta just, I'm already halfway through, just finish it out. And then that's when I found Red Cane, and I'm like, okay, well, we only know, like, I think 5 or 6 dungeon prizes at this point. We could be in go mode. Like, after I picked up the TR big after completing swamp, I'm like, we could be in go mode right now. Let's just assume that we are.
That was
Yeah.
that was another thing that was really weird, because like there was no Sahasrara, and then there was no bomb shop to help you out, and then you
Nope.
ended up with 3 pendants in the light world. So
Yeah, we had a bit of a nightmare with that TR big key, because we miscommunicated. Breathless had definitely said it out loud, and then neither of us had like committed that to memory. So we got to the point, and I was like, right, okay, so it's either desert or Turtle Rock, but we need the big keys to both of them before we can do it. And Breathless was like, what? I've got the Turtle Rock big key. Like, oh no, but where was it? So we had to go back and work it out after it turned out that was the last crystal.
We actually did the same with Ether. We were both like, we don't remember where this is at all. So there were a couple times we both were like, do you remember where this was? Absolutely not.
Yeah, TR Big was in Graveyard Ledge, which was Bonk Rock's behind Bomb Shop location, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That was the last booch. That was the last entrance that we had available.
Right.
That was swamp into that entrance to get the TR Big Key to go to TR for me, while Sean was going towards Meyer to finish that up.
Oh yeah, Sean, I was a little surprised you didn't go grab silvers at any point, especially since secretly a sliver is almost secretly a silver.
Without a flute, like there's really, I think I was over there because I had marked that there was something there, but then I went into one cave, got the 300 rupees, and I'm like, okay, that must have been the thing that I needed. So then I just big flippered to the island check. So I didn't pick that up. It wouldn't have saved me that much time anyway.
Yeah, at that point it would have been like time neutral.
Yeah, just curious because you actually went into the Ganon fight with plenty of money for a change, compared to everyone else.
Yeah, I got an extra 300 from somewhere, like from checking stuff. It must have been in Swamp, because... But yeah, and then like the fact that I'm exiting and I can just run straight to Ganon from where I was, like it just didn't make sense. And like my silverless Ganon is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you had the clock ticking, certainly with how close you and Snake finished.
A close race is what you want really out of it. Could have been even closer apparently, but must have been exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least they're game 3 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
we're waiting to find out what mode it's gonna be.
Me too. Honestly, me too.
I need to discuss with only Jeff, but
Yeah.
we will let you know. But yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
secret.
Either way, it should be a
What's-
faster
what's
mode
that?
than this.
Like, yeah.
Don't say that.
There's spoiler pilot and the 80 keys. No, co-op.
It's just AD.
Yeah, co-op all dungeons and spoiler, I guess, are the ones.
I look forward to it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for the game 3, certainly. I gather it'll be sometime next weekend.
Probably, yeah, because of time zones.
Friday's a holiday, so that's a possibility.
Yeah, we've got a 4-day weekend here in the States.
Oh yeah.
That must be nice.
Okay, not all of us have a 4-day weekend.
Like, dang, Drosy, rub it in. Holy cow.
But yeah, unless any of you have anything else, I guess we'll wrap things up here.
Just thank you for restreaming and commenting and tracking everybody. Always nice to be
Yeah,
featured on
thanks a lot.
SpeedGaming.
Yes.
Yes, thank you to Obscure and Shinmaru for jumping in at the last minute to make this restream happen. We can't do restreams without trackers.
Yep, also helps keep us on point because there are 4 screens and entrances aren't where they're supposed to be, and I know that I need people helping me out there. So,
And of course, give the runners a follow. These 2 teams, as we said, will be playing a game 3 sometime in the next week. So you definitely want to check that out.
yeah, if you guys haven't had enough rando for the night, we do actually have at least 2. We have two games that are most likely going to be restreamed. One in roughly 2 hours and one in 2.5. The one in 2 hours is going to be on the ALTTPR League channel, and the one in 2.5 hours is scheduled to be on the SpeedGaming, the SpeedGaming original channel. So we do have some more rando coming your way.
Yeah, and I believe the 8 o'clock race is actually the last series to get underway. It's Peanut Butter Jelly Time versus the Long Shots. They haven't played any of their games yet, so that'll be the final game 1 for this round. But yeah, tune in this evening. Hammer, thanks for signing up. I kind of jumped in as soon as I saw you'd signed up.
I appreciate it. I always enjoy coming with you. So,
Likewise.
you enjoy coming with you?
Yes. I enjoy calming with myself very much.
I don't think I could handle calming with myself. I'm so much of a smart butt.
I mean, you calming with Spy is basically like you calming with yourself.
Absolutely not. I will not accept that insult, Lang. I also won't accept that insult to him when he's not here to just sputter at it. On that note,
anyway, let's see if there's anything else on the schedule. Only thing going on right now is the Open Weekly, so I guess we'll get you over to there. Good old Open 7-7. And now that SpeedGaming Live is over and the league is in playoffs, we're back to being able to broadcast those races. So hope you'll join us over there.
Alrighty. Have a good one, everyone.